so throttle, sticky throttle. Now, this throttle isn't actually sticky because I couldn't get it to break that way, and I don't want to sabotage my bike any more than I have. But I've loosened it up anyway, so the wiggling side to side isn't really a problem, that just happens. It's more of a problem for it to wiggle that way too much. So if you wind it back and then let it click forward, where it comes to rest, it shouldn't have too much play after that. If it does, then it means that the cable's probably too loose. So you take out the screws, which I've already done, and take the cover off. Now, you can see there's two cables. This one goes to the accelerator. Well, they both do, but this one's the one that pulls, so when you pull that back, that pulls the gas on. And then this one on the back here is kind of a tensioner to keep the thing from wiggling, and as you can see, it's really quite loose. On your one, it's probably got a kink in it, and it's probably hooking itself around the side there and jamming. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to this one ages ago, and I fixed it the same way. So if you take this right off, you can see there's the two cables. You can actually pop them right out of the thing. This one will probably be fine. Just, pulling that to make the bike go, don't ride it like this. This one is the problem one, and it'll probably have a fairly nasty kink in it. You should be able to just straighten it out, just kind of, wiggle it straight, and then once you fix it and wrap it back around, it'll be fine. There are a couple of ways that you can try to fix this. The easiest one is, it sort of depends on how much play is in the system. So the easiest way to fix it is if you can keep everything held in like this and just adjust this so that you adjust this and that'll pull this one tighter, which will pull that around, which will tighten this up, and that'll keep it tight. But on this one, I can't do that because there's this rubber stopper thing here, and this the bit where it connects is already pulled in as close as it'll go. So if I tighten this up, all it's going to do is just jam against that and then cause the throttle to be on even when it's not meant to be. So that's not an option for me. So if that's the same for your bike, then you'll need to go to the other end of these cables. Now unfortunately, at least on this bike, it's a bit of a pain to get to. It's kind of under the fuel tank. So if you follow the cables round, they come down to here. You might have to look at it from this side. So this is where they come in here, and they've both got nuts on this end. So what you can do is loosen. These ones are a bit fiddly. You have to loosen one and then you loosen the other. So if you loosen that one right out and then push it back up and then tighten the other end, that should adjust the cable so that, go back to here, so that there's less play in this end, which means that if you reattach everything, oops, and then reattach that as well. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly. Now hopefully I've done this right. There should hopefully now be a bit less play in that cable. There's a lot less wiggle that way, especially if you do those up, put the screws back in. I probably need to adjust this a little bit better, but you get the idea. You've got to take the slack out of it and make sure that it's not got a kink in it, that it's going to stay wrapped around. So even though it's just looping over this, over that sort of disc there, and it's not actually held in really, as long as it's tight, it shouldn't slide off the edge. So as long as you adjust the cable properly and bend that kink back out of it, you should be able to get that to sit a lot better, and hopefully that'll fix it without having to wait 3 weeks for any part.